Alrighty guys, so back at the mark again for a little bit. We're getting a boost issue where I'm barely, it started off that I was just getting slightly over a bar, now I'm getting below a bar, probably just a boost leak, but I have found that my pump down here is covered in oil. Could be diesel, you know, that's mixing with some of the oil or whatever, I don't know. We're going to have a look into that. And then it could be equally the boost pipe that's just here could be a boost leak there, and it's just spraying everywhere here with oil, which would be right because of the amount of mileage I'm doing. It would take time to do that, if you know what I mean. I have noticed also that my the pipe leaving the turbo has oil residue all over it as well. Again, this is all Jubilee clips and stuff, so it could be that. I have taken off the intake pipe and had a feel to see if there's any wear on the turbo itself, and as you know, it's fairly new and it also feels fairly good as well. There is oil in my intake pipe, but that's coming from this. Now the only thing from the first initial look is this oil is like kind of granular and thick, so I need to look into that. I can see it even here. It has like bits and texture in it and stuff. I don't know if that is bits of engine or if that's just like actual soot mixed in with it possibly, or build up of you know, the sludgy kind of oil that you can get. So I'm going to, first of all, I've checked that, so I'm happy enough with that. I'm going to pop this here just because I want to remove this. You know, I don't use it, so I don't know why I still have it there. So I'm going to take that off. At the same time, I'll be able to see if my injectors are leaking diesel or anything. What else do I want to do? Then I'm going to lift up the car and I'm going to have a look at my boost pipes and check, tighten up Jubilee clips and stuff like that. And then the next protocol is to remove the intake manifold, clean off the entirety of the pump, have a look at anything that might need tightening or anything like that, and then run it, and then maybe with a nicely freshly cleaned area I might be able to see where this oil leak is, or this diesel leak, or this boost leak is. Anyway, I will check in with you when I've done a little bit more. Right, so popping off the lid of that just shows I've got a leaking ventilation system, which is hardly surprising. I kind of would imagine that there'd be a certain leak, and I know that this part was broken here. So that's not much. I'm going to clean this up anyway. All the channels in here look dry. It gets progressively wetter as you go further back, but then that's also where the pooling of oil is happening. So that is, I would imagine, perfectly acceptable for an engine like this, and of this age, with a ventilation system at that age. So I'm just going to clean off all that oil and then move on to my next point. Alrighty, so the manifold's off, and I'm kind of happy enough with the looks of the different chambers and stuff like that. I have to have a more detailed look, but at a very glance it looks okay. But you can see what I'm talking about with this oil leak here. It is definitely, like, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get better lighting. That is my lever, basically, my throttle lever, and it's all over that. Now I know that throttle lever feels a bit loose as well. Let me see, I might just turn off the light and you might be able to see it better. So if I goes in here, let me just see. I don't know if you can see that, but there's in-out play on that throttle lever, and it just, to me, it just seems like, now there's a little tiny grub screw just there behind my glove, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off this entire area, and I'm going to push that in, give it a bit of a tighten up. See, it's a small little grub screw, not much torque you can really put on that. So we'll just see, maybe it's keywayed in some way that it's just after slipping. The other thing I noticed was this here moves around too, and I don't know if that was ever like, if it was originally tack welded or something and it's after breaking down below. I'm going to have a little look and see. I can't really rightly remember. Also, I'll at the same time I'm going to just tighten these two up here, because the oil leak does look to be centered around here. I also think this delivery valve cap, let's say, I don't know what else you would call it, looks to be wetter than the one behind it, so maybe there's something there. But down the actual boost pipe looks nice and clean, no real signs of oil in there. So how would it be a boost leak, let's say, that's causing that? If there's no oil, not too much oil getting up to that point. But like, if you look anywhere around here, it's all sprayed, you know, in that kind of gunky, you know, kind of stuff, more like a carbon. So I think it has to be a source from there, but how would it be under that much pressure? I know at 120 bars, isn't it, really, when it's at max out pressure, so maybe it would do that much of a spray. But anyway, I'm going to clean off that area. I'll tighten up those couple of things I mentioned. I don't think I can tighten up that. I think that's a specialist tool, and we'll see if I get it back maybe next week. I'll check for boost leaks in the meantime, and I'll report back to that. Alrighty, so with it cleaned off, you can actually see it a lot clearer. If I grab a hold of this shaft, it's actually this shaft itself that looks like it's moving. Well, sorry, I don't know. It could be just sliding on that grub screw. I'm going to take this off now, and hopefully I am not releasing something I shouldn't be releasing. But you can see here there looks to be two washers, and it just looks to be moving along there. Alrighty, so put together back everything up top. I couldn't get the arm, that little grub screw loose, and I felt like if I kept going I was just going to end up breaking it or something. So I need to figure out how to solve the play in that arm there. You can actually see it's lovely and clean there now, not just there. I did give it all of spray. I can see from down here that I have some oil just there, which I think somebody mentioned to me that the seal between the governor section and the actual main body of the pump can get that too. So that's probably not my source of my issue, but it's definitely a little leak there, or at least could be the same leak spreading or showing everywhere. Regards boost leaks and stuff, there's a little, like, I've obviously sprayed all this area, but you can see here that looked like it. I put a couple of turns on that, and then the one straight out of the turbo, I had been tightening the top one. I noticed here the bottom one, but the spray was everywhere. The oil leak you could see from, let's say, the boost for up here was kind of all over it. So I think most likely both of them were giving me issues. This pipe isn't flanged up there, so it could well be opening up under boost. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it now for maybe a week's time, and then I'll have another little look, and hopefully the source, I'm going to spray all this area again underneath here. Hopefully the source of the oil leak at the pump will become, or diesel leak pipe potentially, might become more obvious, and then we can work from there.